green? Oh no, it's white now. Oh, it's green again.
Are we recording?
Just get it. Yeah, we're recording.
Just get it level, son. You know what I mean. Less IQ, more EQ.
Maybe focusing on the project, and also Jack haven't done the title and the thumbnail.
Okay, we're ready.
I know, because he's more interested in his girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, like.
Okay, let's. Are we ready, Jack?
Yes.
Oh, we're actually recording.
Yes.
And what about introduction?
Oh, we'll introduce in a second.
Okay. I'm not in charge.
Okay, so Hannah has spent the last 2 weeks in Poland, and how long were you living with your mom and dad?
For 10 days. Not exactly, but about. I spent 10 days in Poland about.
And you said you were
days.
I know. Okay.
And I was in a constant state of anxiety.
Yeah, because your mom, she's not the easiest person to live with. Well, if she finds it difficult, she finds you difficult.
Yeah, she finds me.
She
very
doesn't find your
challenging.
elder brother Radek difficult.
No, because he can. I mean, she's an amazing person, but it's very, very difficult for me to deal with her. But when I was leaving,
But what is
we
it about?
made like this sort of like, it was actually nice, but because my brother was there, so we actually had a laugh and we had a good time and we took photos.
So really, when your brother is there, it really grounds
it's
her.
amazing. Yeah.
So why can't you do what the brother does?
I don't know. I mean,
What does he do that you don't
I have
do?
some faults. I can't do it.
Yeah,
I don't know. He can do it. I'm trying to learn.
Did you get Botox over in Poland?
No. No.
And why are you wearing a baseball cap? Okay.
Because I'm sporty spice.
God. So Jack just walked in the door, right, and he goes, "Oh yeah, watch that TV show Bodkin." No.
Yeah. I watched it with Jack.
Okay.
Really good.
Okay,
really
that's not
good.
the story. Jesus Christ. Like stop. Anyway, and he says, and then Jack says,
And
"Yeah."
that's why we're not
and
together.
Jack says, "Did you know that you auditioned for a part in that show?" And I couldn't remember it. And then Jack said, "Yeah, you were doing this scene where you were stapling money to some guy. You were playing a criminal or something." And then Jack was telling me, "Yeah," and then he said, "Yeah, it was a really good TV show."
And who's playing that role?
Yeah. And then, so, I went into it, like, I mean, why would Jack say that to me? Oh, hey, I saw a TV show that you didn't get an audition for.
No,
Like,
you got an audition, but you didn't get a part.
That's right. And I can't even tell a fucking story. You're like the worst. If I went on stage with you, I'd be fucked.
Okay,
You're like the worst
that's
heckler.
why I never go to your shows. Jack, who plays that part David auditioned for?
Well, anyway, I asked Jack who plays him, and he didn't know immediately, and then he looked it up, and it was David Wilmot. And when I heard that, I thought, well, because I like David Wilmot. Very
He's
nice.
really good in it as well.
Who is David Wilmot?
David Wilmot is a very good actor. Actually, David Wilmot came
Is he
to...
English?
No, he's Irish.
He's
He
Irish.
came to my show with John McDonough and Lizzie.
Oh.
And so when I heard he got the part, then it was because he's such a good actor. But then I looked at the casting director is a woman called Louise Kiley, and I don't think she's ever cast me in anything, and I don't think she likes me. Louise Kiley does not like me, so
I
whatever
don't think
she's
they
casting.
You need to fit the part.
Yeah, it was with a Northern Ireland accent. I can play a Northern Ireland criminal. I'll staple that fucking chair to your head.
Yeah.
It's too
That's
loud.
quite
Hannah's
funny.
voice is too loud.
Oh, you see now, I'm speaking.
I'm trying to fix your issue.
I mean, okay, just introduce the podcast, Jack Daniel.
Okay then.
Oh, Jack's introducing it. Sorry, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to And That's Why We're Not Together, starring David McSavage and Hannah Andrews.
And my young princes, Jack and Daniel, someday this kingdom will be yours, this kingdom of shadows and dust. Shadows and dust.
Strength and honor.
Strength and honor. So the gang are back together again. Jack was away, Hannah was away, I was away. Everyone was away, and now we're all back together. Hannah said, "Don't we have a guest?" I mean, getting a guest, it's a hassle. You having to ring somebody up and just get them to sit there. And I don't know. Like, I would like a guest. Maybe we should get somebody to book our guests or something. Maybe you should do that. Maybe you should do something. Don't you want to graduate?
David,
and then
I've
Hannah was
seen on your Instagram that your days are not very productive. That you should actually write what you're doing over a course of a day. So maybe you can write, one of your tasks would be booking the guests, because you've got plenty of time, as I found out.
You have a way of talking that makes me want to run into a tree.
Okay, I think I got it from my mom.
Is it?
I think so. She also, listen, I tell you a story.
Because she never knows what, do you talk like, the way you talk in English, where it's like off this way, off that way? That probably does her head in.
What do you mean off this way and that way? What do you mean?
How do you talk to your mother?
How do you, what do you mean, how do I talk off this way and that way?
I bet you Radek just goes, yes, Mama, I do this, I do this, I do that.
No, I don't know what he does. I have to study. It's very
but anyway,
hard to say.
yeah, but also he is your mom's favourite.
Yeah, but there's a clash of characters between my mom and myself. But for the first time, she did not ask me to go to church. She did not ask me if I'm gonna go to Sunday Mass. Because when Jack and Daniel, we used to go to Poland, we used to pretend that we're going to church. And I did not want the boys to lie. So we did go to church, stayed there for 5 minutes, and then we went off. So if they were asked, were you in the church or at the church? I
remember little Jack and Daniel making their little communions. Oh my God, the pure innocence, the absolute.
Yeah. But listen,
sorry, and then the thought that popped into my head, those animals that perpetrated those evils.
Yeah, so... Sorry. But because all the changes, all
listen.
the things...
Come on,
in the Catholic Church coming up in Poland. So for the first time, she did not ask me to go.
Okay.
And I said, and then I said, well, I think I'm going to go to church and pray. And she asked me, where are you going? And I said, maybe I'm going to go and pray. And she was delighted. And I went to church and I stayed the whole Mass. First time over, 30 years? No, even more. And I actually enjoyed it. And I'm telling you, there are young priests.
We really need guests, don't we? There were young priests going?
In the church. Like the guy who was, and the priest who was doing sermon, he was actually about 20-something.
Okay.
So, which is unusual. Like, you don't see it anywhere else.
Okay.
And, Polish people make up the diaspora, Catholic diaspora in Ireland, because no one else is going.
Oh, yeah, the Catholic churches are full of Polish people. What are you looking up, Jack?
Just young priests.
But why are you looking at Jack? Just look, somewhere else.
Okay, look.
Don't be distracted.
Anyway,
do you have anything to say?
That was disappointing. God, in the middle of saying something, you're really an assassinator. My God, listen.
I think I need guns.
Please,
bring guns back.
Keep this woman, O King of Kings, beneath thy almighty wings.
What's that from?
It's a sermon.
Anyway, look, I was quite depressed there for a good few minutes, about the part that I didn't get in this, apparently.
Well, that's good it was only a few minutes, because usually it's a bit longer.
But Jack was, Jack is supposed to be emotionally intelligent. He should know not to say, oh, hey, the TV show that you didn't get a part in is really good.
Well, I knew that's the thing to say to you, because that's the only thing you respond to, is kind of humiliation and shame.
Yes, David.
Oh, you don't even... Okay. Oh, God.
It's just he knows how to get your attention, because otherwise it's just you don't pay attention to anything.
Okay, so look, Hannah, here's a really good thing that you applied for but you didn't get. And look how nice it is. How would you feel?
Terrible.
Thank you. Okay.
And when you get another opportunity, do you think maybe if you remembered the pain of today?
Well, here's another thing. Look, these auditions, they are few and far between. And
So they're important.
when they do come,
The preparation
you know,
is the key.
I don't know if I don't know if I, you know, well, sometimes I do. I have done these auditions where I've just done so many takes. But I guess if I really, really want a part, you know, you do your research. Maybe I should
Learn your lines.
Learn your lines. Be taking acting classes. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
don't learn your lines when we're doing the takes, because that's what happens. You don't know your lines, and we're learning the line. You're learning the lines while we're doing the.
Jack, I did know my. I can't remember, but I did know my lines.
Well, you know.
You find it hard to remember a lot of names.
Names. Yeah, no, I do remember the lines. Okay, so
well, Bodkin is based in West Cork. It's about a true crime podcaster who's going to check this. Some people passed away in the last Samhain festival 20 years ago, and he's trying to uncover this mystery, but like kind of in a soft way. But then it turns out that there's more nefarious things going on in the town.
Okay, well, it does sound good, I have to say. Well, anyway, I wish them all fucking well, and I hope they have great fucking success.
And it's taking place in a beautiful countryside, West Cork.
Yeah.
Skibbereen, no, what is it called? Skibbereen.
Skipper Dreams. Okay, Hannah.
And Skull as well. It's beautiful in Skull.
Yeah, it'd be a lovely place to shoot a series.
And David, how's your writing going on? I think the last time we had a guest, and it was Owen
Colgan,
and there was a pact being made between two of you. But I don't think any action has taken place. But we wait and see.
How long have we been broadcasting, Daniel?
Too long.
15 minutes.
Wow.
Feels longer.
Holy fucking shit!
So what's happening around Ireland?
Have you heard of the plight of the visually impaired?
No.
Well, they're frustrated because there's dog poo everywhere in the city of Dublin, and they keep stepping into it.
Oh God, I've stepped into shit so many times in
And
my life.
it's especially difficult for blind people. Yes.
Yeah, because they can't see.
So
Well, can I say, blind people, you're not alone, because I don't know. My feet seem to be magnetically attracted to dog shit. But it is amazing. I mean, the assholes that have fucking dogs, who just let them shit and they just well, whatever. You know, fuck off. You know, first of all, take your little scruffy mutt. No, you know, it's such a pain in the hole. They're such high maintenance dogs.
Well,
Walking around, like I see these day walkers with their dogs every day. Jesus Christ. I mean, there are some nice people, obviously, with dogs, but some of them, you know. Remember that fucker who had these two little terriers, and he just let them run. He let them run on the road, and as if he was the lord of the estate of Portobello, and let his hounds run and worry and chase and scare the fucking cats. And what are you doing, mate? Oh, it's a natural instinct. Okay, you know. Well, here, meet Tony the fucking tiger. Wouldn't you love to have a big mountain lion, a big aggressive mountain lion? Mamma mia, I would love to see that. A mountain lion that you trained to hunt and kill terriers. And those terriers, like, running for their lives.
You know what?
And then that guy with his dogs going, what the fuck are you doing? Well, it's just instincts, you know. It's just instincts, mate. Just instincts. Just my mountain lion. My mountain lion needs to go for a walk, and I don't like to have him on the leash. Go on, mountain lion. Oh, is he scaring the shit out of your terriers? Oh, your terriers are in the canal, escaping. Oh.
You know what they use to hunt mountain lions? Dogs.
Yeah, they used Rhodesian Ridgebacks, or no. They're, it's funny. Some of the fucking breeds of dogs, like there's these things, Rhodesian Ridgebacks. What's Rhodesia called now?
Zimbabwe.
Right? But so these Rhodesian Ridgebacks, they have a ridge down their back, and they've got like jaws, like I don't know. They use them. They use these things to hunt lions. These big fucking.
But there's like a lot of them, like 10 of them. I think one-on-one, the mountain lion would kill most dogs. I'd say so.
Yeah.
Heard of that Tibetan Mastiff?
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a really huge. I think they use it to take down bears and stuff, and yeah, huge dog.
What's the most vicious
scary.
animal? Like, did you ever see those videos of honey badgers? They're like tiny little things, and they're like.
Yeah, they can eat. They eat snakes.
Yeah,
They-
but they're
yeah.
just super quick, and
Yeah,
maybe
vicious.
they have some stuff in their blood that is resistant to venom or something.
Yeah. I think.
And
so.
these guys are just, and it's it's pure survival, isn't it?
But they went on the offensive.
It's amazing when you see the kind of things that animals will do. Like naturally, you want to survive. You don't want to be killed. That was one of the reasons I became vegetarian for a good few years.
Oh, what about black widow?
Black widow spider, but there's this fish, like a puffer fish, and I saw somebody pick it out of the water, and you just hear it going, and like the thing is like, it's amazing.
You know, dolphins use pufferfish to get high.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, they like bounce it. They make it inflate.
Yeah.
And then they bounce it. They pass it to each other, like,
Right.
and they get stoned off the
Venom.
whatever comes
Well,
out
I
of
think
the.
they have DMT.
Smoke weed every day.
That's like that natural DMT, that hallucinogenic or something.
It's so funny. Like dolphins are really intelligent. Obviously, it's their type of intelligence. We think, oh, they're not because they don't fucking go to Tesco. Well, you try surviving in their environment for a minute or two, and you'd know all about it. But anyway, isn't that interesting? Like dolphins getting high, like pufferfish, like they be going. That's how they communicate. Like whatever. That would be like the equivalent. I just saw a fucking pufferfish over, and then the other one go, oh, fuck, get it quick. If your mom finds out you're doing this, you'll be, you know what I mean? Like they're probably little adolescents.
She
I don't know.
puts you on the naughty stairs.
And can you imagine being a dolphin and high? Amazing.
Just swimming.
Just swimming, like in that. It's just you just be high, and then the mother of that dolphin would be looking at him. What the fuck's wrong with you? Nothing. Yeah.
Stay away from those pufferfish.
Yeah, I'd say it'd be funny. Like, yeah, it's amazing. And then you think of
Maybe they high as well. And
maybe you think of blue. Look at blue whales. They're the largest mammals in the whole earth. Blue whales. It's the size of those things.
Do they get high?
And then if you ever see, I don't know, is it blue whales where they do these, where they fish with this bubble net, and then all the fish get caught up in these bubbles, and then this whale just comes from beneath, and its mouth sort of expands, and they just eat like a truckload of fish. What a way to live! Can you imagine it? And then you just digest that. You don't have
that
to
whale ate Pinocchio as well.
eat. Okay.
No, but it did. Didn't it? Am I wrong?
I don't know. The whale ate Pinocchio.
Yeah,
Is that what happened in the
Yeah,
story?
yeah.
Yeah, don't you know
remember.
Pinocchio?
I don't remember.
Oh, Pinocchio.
And he was inside the whale.
Listen. It must be amazing, right? You're a giant whale. I wondered, are they aware of their size, or does it matter to them, or like they've evolved to this huge, huge size, and they're just in the medium of water, and they just. I wonder, how do they feel? Do they assume they have moods, and whatever, and then
I think they're aware of their size because they're known to like capsize boats and stuff. Like the more aggressive whales, maybe. Yeah.
And they just, the way they can communicate to each other over large distances, and what sounds, what's actually being communicated, or, would that be like, hey, how you doing? I'm okay. Yeah, things are okay.
Because they're lonely.
There's fish over here. Really? It sounds like your brother Radek. Hello.
I don't know why don't you like my brother?
I do love your brother.
I think he's I love him.
Yes.
He's the best thing happened to me in Poland.
Davide.
Blue whales can travel nearly 5,000 kilometers in a day.
Stop it.
In a day.
In a fucking day? No, they can't.
Well, according to
look that up. Is that
public
Public cock. Jack, you're looking
But-
at a porn
Public
site.
ocean service. Sorry.
But listen, do they live alone or in a group? Alone?
No, but
No, they rent a house together.
sublet a room.
Sublet a room. Can you imagine it? Like, yeah, hello? Those fucking shitty landlords.
in the whale.
herd animals.
Yeah, well, they have the babies, and then the babies travel with them, with the mother, and then the male whale goes around and gets a lot of mamas.
With his massive whale penis. Imagine the size of a whale penis.
Whales?
I'll look it up.
Wait a sec. I'm just trying to see how long.
Are we doing like taking David Attenborough job? All of a sudden we just like knowledgeable.
2.5 meters
What?
to 3 meters.
Penis?
Yeah, the whale.
No.
That's the average. That's the average as well.
Oh my god.
Some guys are getting up to 4.
Shame on you guys.
4
all
meters.
in the world.
4 meters.
Shit.
That's the size of a human. Like bigger. Like
Bigger.
it's like an
2-3
NBA player.
Yeah. 2-3 meters. Like, you know, there's no a man who is.
That's LeBron James. Well, no, LeBron James is probably 2
Jack,
meters.
stop talking rubbish.
What are you looking at?
I'm trying to see how far blue whales can travel in a day.
Well, just
5,000
ask
kilometers.
Chat GTP, and you're gonna know instantly.
Both our podcasters are furiously typing.
Or ChatGPT is known to get things wrong, though.
Yeah, but
They
I'm
get some
asking
facts wrong,
how
though.
far.
No, each year blue whales embark on 4,000-mile migrations. But they couldn't. They couldn't travel for 4,000 kilometers in it. That's crazy. How fast would they? That's like an airplane, Jack. What are you on about?
Oh, sorry. I didn't read on.
Each
fully.
year, blue whales embark on 4,000 miles.
130 to 140 kilometers.
Listen, I'm worried about Jack, Hannah. Look.
Look, I've got the answer. Blue whale are known for their impressive long-distance migration.
Jeez,
On average, blue whale migrate about
20,000.
3,000 to 5,000 miles.
Yeah.
4 to 8 kilometers between their feeding grounds
Yes.
in polar water and their breeding grounds in warmer tropical waters.
Yeah. And Jack is like thinking that they do 5,000 kilometers
Sorry,
a day.
130 to 100. They could
longer
if they wanted
distances,
to.
for
No,
example.
they couldn't, Jack.
But they just don't.
Blue whale was traveling over 11,000 miles, but
Yeah,
that's
okay.
exceptional.
Thank you, Hannah. How many miles can they travel a day is the question.
A day, okay?
Yeah, you see?
130 to 140.
Okay, 130, 140, got it.
So what's your favorite animal?
Well, when I was a kid, I was fascinated by sharks. And I wonder what was it about them? I can't. Well, I'm trying to take myself back to what are you laughing at, Jack?
Because they had sharp
Jack,
teeth
what are you
and they
laugh-
are
what-
aggressive. And
What
they,
are you laughing at?
It was just funny that you're thinking, I can't remember what I liked about them. The shark.
Because sharks,
I suppose I'm a
they're
young kid and they-
smooth and
yeah.
they're powerful and they have those strong teeth and they can, you know, devour everything. Like everybody's afraid of sharks.
And what's amazing about sharks is they haven't had the need to evolve. They've just stayed pretty much. So it tells you that they're the perfect apex predator. They just sort of travel around.
Was it because you watched Jaws?
Well, what year did Jaws come out?
80 something.
80s?
You know, I was into whales. I was into sharks before then.
Whales.
1975,
Oh,
actually.
75. Oh, 10 years.
Well, also Jacques Cousteau, you know, he was very popular back when I was growing up. I mean, it's funny. Oh, yeah. Speaking of age, like I'm 58. Okay?
Terrible.
No, I'm 58. You know...
You're
and-
looking well, David, for 58.
Thank you. I'm 58, but here's the thing, and you look great too. You have to give a compliment. If somebody gives a compliment back, you don't mean to. You just have to do
Well,
it.
you don't need to. You just
Yeah, I
say
just did it.
thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. You look great too. Okay, so
But you have to put emotion into it.
Jack,
You look
please.
great too.
Jack, she knows I have ADHD, and I can be knocked off course in a second.
Okay, David.
And then she gives me permission to do something I don't need permission for. Okay.
And that's why we're not together.
Happy now? Okay.
No, I'm crying.
No, what's amazing is, okay, I left Blackrock College. Okay, Blackrock College is a school, secondary school in Blackrock, okay? And 1984. And I remember...
Where is it, sir?
I remember walking the halls of Blackrock College looking at photos of rugby teams from, 1975, Senior Cup team, 1975. And, I remember it looking at that as an 18-year-old, looking at a rugby team that was 10 years old, that, from 1975, and could think, God, that's so old, And then from the 60s, 1965, which is 20 years, 1954. But here's the thing. It's now 2024. So if there's an 18-year-old walking around Blackrock College, well, first of all, I wouldn't be on any fucking picture because I never played rugby. But 18-year-old walking around Blackrock College in 2024, i.e. today, and they're looking at any pictures of somebody, oh, look, from 2014, from 2004, from 1994, from 1984. So in other words, 40. When I was in Blackrock College in 1984, 40 years before me was 1944. Mm-hmm. So to an 18-year-old now, 1984 is the equivalent of my 1944.
Your maths abilities are incredible, David.
It took me so long to get to the fucking point. Well, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. I'm just saying that, like, I'm very to an 18-year-old. I'm a fucking ancient.
But when you were 18, people 58 were ancient to you. I mean, like,
yes.
We all have to remember there's a wheel of life. So I'm aging every day.
Cycle of life. Can we have the? What is that? The circle of life.
The Dragon King.
What is it? The circle of life.
David, you're such a good singer.
The circle of life. I can't even remember the melody.
But it was good. It was very close. But what I'm saying is that everybody is getting older, every day.
Yeah.
So whoever is 18, you can't be that victorious for very long because you're going to get older. And then
Nice.
it's another 18.
Yes.
And another 18.
Yes,
Those die.
that's really good, Hannah. It's like it's like a
That's
conveyor
it.
belt of life.
Yes,
Time
yes.
is no respecter of human life.
No.
It rolls along in spite of your attempts to cling to your youth, but death will creep up. It's so good, but when the first time you see that, they hold up the little baby lion, or whatever the fuck. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, isn't that amazing? Like 18, and to an 18-year-old, they've only lived for 18 years. A 56-year-old, you've lived almost 3 times as long. So time doesn't seem as long to the 58-year-old as it does to the 18-year-old. I will talk until I make a point.
But I don't know what
I'm talking because I don't want you to say anything. And
I'm listening, but I'm falling asleep. Isn't there any more interesting news?
No, it is interesting. Jack, is it interesting to you? Jack, do you look back in 1984? When I look back at 1940,
Jack speak.
when I look back at 1944, when I was 18, it was so long. It was the end of World War II. It was just like, but 40 years ago.
But it's a long time ago for him as well.
Sorry.
It just makes me think that 20 years in the future, we'll look back 20 years and we'll say that was 20 years.
Say that again?
20 years in the future, we'll look back 20 years and we'll say that was 20 years ago.
What?
Yeah, so 20 years from now, and if you're 20 years in the future, you look back, it's only 20 years. You just state the fact.
Yeah, but 20
And
years
a
for
lot
Jack.
of
20 years.
will happen.
He's taking the piss, Hannah. And I love the way he's taking the piss and you're taking him seriously. And I'm trying to be authentic and you're taking the piss out of me.
I know, but that's basically, it's true. In 20-year times, you look back and you say, oh, it was 20 years ago.
You're saying it for the 4th time, what he just said. You're daft.
I know.
Listen,
but it
for
all
him,
depends.
he's 25 now. In 20 years, he'll only be 45. It won't be as big, 20 years for me, I'll be
Well, you see, I don't think about time in a linear sense.
Oh, here
I
we
think
go.
about
He's
it
just
more in
make-
like a quadratic sense.
Yeah, he's making-
Yeah,
I'm going,
parallel universes.
I'm going here, I'm going
You see,
there.
look, you see.
I
No,
like
he's
this.
not. He just made up gobbledygook, and you.
It's not
No, 'cause you
gobbledygook
see, you're on a-
because the
you're on a
life
straight
is not
line.
linear. Time is, exists in a lot of places at
It's
the
a
same
curve.
time.
It's a curve.
And it's a curve as well.
It straddles the XY axis on a curve.
You see, look, he's making this stuff up, and then Hannah jumps on it. That's what you're into, all that woo woo wah wah. Like, in fact, we should, Jack, just make up your own program or course. Call it Curve Time Course. If you're unhappy, everyone's unhappy. Just you fucking moron.
How to 5x your wealth. Be
Yeah.
at 5 places at the same time.
There you go.
Join my course, and I'll tell you how.
5x your wealth. Do you want to 5x your wealth?
No, I don't understand that.
Do you want to multiply your wealth by 5 times?
Well, of course,
Do you
but
want to
not
multiply?
in that
Don't
way.
don't think. Do you want to multiply your wealth
Yes,
by 5
I
times?
already bought
Don't
2
talk.
courses and
Don't-
asked
See.
money back.
She already did it.
I've already did it, but I was able to claim the money back.
It's not a pyramid scheme. It's a
Jack's game.
And also, Jack, I have to
Obelisk
realise that
scheme.
I do have ADHD, and I have a short. I'm short-sighted for future work that needs to be done. Like, say, most people can work towards a plan where I have to wait till the plan is right there, and then I react. It's like the exam that you have to do for your leaving certificate. On the night before, you start furiously trying. It was too late. Whereas other people, other people can plan for their leaving certificate, but I can't because I have a disease of the mind, and then nobody ever took that into
David.
consideration. So I shouldn't be living in this place.
Well, school they wasn't catered for you, but that's just not a good excuse.
I
That's
have myopia.
laughable
I have
excuse.
short-sighted future sort.
But you definitely can write your long-term goal on a piece of paper and put it in front of you, can you?
Jack, can I just ask you, when you think of 1984, do you think it's so far back in time and so old? It is, isn't it?
Well, yes, it is quite a long time ago. But I don't know. I like history, so I kind of think it's quite modern, isn't it? It's much of like when you.
It's
look
more
at,
modern than 1944.
Well, of course it is. Yeah, but I
think-
mean,
And what about 1264? That's really far
It's funny,
away.
isn't it? Like when you think about.
And what about BC?
When you think about
BC?
what is funny, like let's say 7,000 BC. I mean, it did exist. It was a time. There was a place, and there was mourning of that year, 7,000 BC. Where was there civilizations in 7,000 BC?
well, there was no kind of confirmed civilization
Really?
that far back.
Really?
Yeah.
It was.
The first. Like, well, it depends what you consider a civilization. A civilization would have
Black Rock.
Exactly. A civilization would have to have like trade networks, multiple cities, like the first, or like, no, sorry, it'd have to be like a city with like functioning things, like, a hierarchy and stuff like that.
Weren't the Mayans and all that?
The first known civilization is the Sumerians, and they were in Mesopotamia. Between the 2 rivers there, I forgot the Tiber, and
And what year was that?
that's like 3000 BC.
No, it was
Yeah.
way before that.
No, that's
Jack.
the Sumerians. That's the first known ancient civilization.
Go on, Hannah.
is the
Yeah,
Sumerians.
what happened 7000 BC? Around 7000, significant developments were taking place across different parts of the world, making the transition from Paleolithic, Old Stone Age, to the Neolithic, New Stone Age period in human history.
Well, I think the 7000 BC
Most
would be
notably
the
from
time where
shift.
it would be the time where people are kind of going towards agriculture and stuff like that, like, and herding.
Yeah, staying in one
animals.
place and figuring.
Yeah.
And the one of the earliest known cities, Jericho.
Okay,
Jericho
how old?
was inhabited around this time.
Inhabited, not inhibited.
Inhabited, yeah. I can't see that.
But they don't know anything about the people who lived in Jericho.
And what
for
year was
example.
that?
7000 BC.
But okay, but just look. I mean, like I'm twitting on about 40 years ago or 80 years ago. But Hannah's right. Like 7,000. Time.
But it's not that long if you think about it.
Oh, but
That-
it's
that-
the cosmic scale.
But
of things. The
like
cosmic
we've
scale.
had known civilization for 5,000 years.
Right.
So it's not like really that long.
Oh,
when you
right.
think of
Yeah,
that.
no, it's
And
not.
then you think about like a city like Constantinople, where for like that's been a city. Well, it's Istanbul now, but that's been like a city for like nearly 2,000 years, like a really important city for 2,000 years. So that city has so much history of the human race, of our development in time.
But also, I don't think people can think beyond their own time zone. Like, I think somehow secretly people think, well, the world's not going to last much longer, but the world will exist in whatever form 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years from now. It's crazy.
Because
but the world, the earth, will exist 4,000 years from now. And I know everybody thinks, especially the Trinity students, know we're all going to, it's all going to, global warming and the whole thing and the ecology is just going to collapse and fall. But if that does happen and the world eats itself, it'll finally regenerate and
definitely,
and it'll take another.
But woke will be gone.
It's
woke will be gone.
It's funny how much
woke people be gone.
You go on, Jack.
It's funny how much climate really has affected our history and humanity hugely. I mean, part of the reason why Western Europe was the leader of innovations and all that was because there was a warm period of time around the 1100s that facilitated a larger expansion of population, especially in France and Germany and Spain and England. And that's Western Europe, where it's kind of the majority, like the highest amount of wealth.
There was a golden sort of era.
And there was a warming era. Like there was climate change happen where
and then
there was a
when
warm.
when was the last ice age?
The last ice age was like
before
10,000 years ago, I think.
Yeah, because that one, it says here it was before.
But there was a there
BC.
was a period in the Middle Ages. You can look this up, where it like rained for a year straight.
That's when that's when Ireland began. 1 year of rain.
And it says the 7,000 BC there was early megalithic structures such as burial mounds and dolmens began to appear in various parts of the world.
How long have we been broadcasting, Daniel?
Well, I've got to finish.
Come on.
40 minutes.
Okay, of David knowledge of biology and geography and you just ask ChatGPT and I'm as clever as David.
But I mean, there's other factors for humanity, like diseases. Diseases have always been a huge factor. Like in how humanity evolved. So when the Black Plague happened, or the Bubonic Plague, came from rats from China on boats through Italy, spread around Europe. But at that time,
Chinese, they always do those kind of things. I shouldn't be saying that. Oh shit, we have to delete this.
Oh, we love China.
I love China. I love China.
I love China. China's a good China. China. Yeah, go on.
But what happened? Europe was quite crowded at that time in terms of like power structures and such. So if you were a peasant, you were stuck a peasant for life. Plenty of nobles. So there's no real ability to move within the power structure. But the bubonic plague affected all people from the lowest to the highest. Fine. So many people died that it freed
equality.
It freed up a lot of property, so a lot of land. So kind of peasants or whatever, whoever survived towards the end, there was kind of like the good times after that, because there was a lot of land.
Gave people, but maybe it made society have some sort of perspective. Like look at how easily people can be wiped away, and so. So my prediction for the future:
more supply than demand. That's what.
My prediction for the future: if we look at what all the innovations and all the technological advances that have happened, computers, internet, and all these things. It was sort of in the ether before these things happened. I mean, people kind of wanted this stuff, dreamed about it, and then suddenly it became a reality. So if you look at what do human beings want? Who are they? What do they want? How are they going to get it? Well, it seems that they want heaven, or they want immortality, and death is a thing that is a big thing that people try to distract themselves for, and it is a kind of thing when you first realize that you're going to die. that you know you're immortal. You're not immortal. You're mortal. Sorry. So what I think is, now I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of years in the future. Eventually, we will reach the point where we won't die. I think, and I think there'll be a lot, and I think maybe we will be able to share a consciousness. You remember then that with being John Malkovich, where they could go inside the head, and lots of people could live inside one body. So I think maybe millions of years from now, there'll be just kind of one being and lots of different consciousnesses sharing one being. So, you know, because we all, you know, the way we go on about God, and God is not only God, but he's Jesus, but he's the Holy Spirit. So, you know, maybe we'll all just be floating.
But you know, there is a universal consciousness we can all tap in, which gathers all the information from every person.
So maybe that'll be it. I don't know.
I think the mushrooms are going to play a part because if you look at the structure of mushrooms and the fungi, they're really quite exceptional. You know, I mean, it's like they have neural pathways within. I mean, I'm kind of just talking bullshit right now. But I don't know. There's
mitochondrial.
There's something going on where they exchange information through underground networks and this kind of stuff.
But that's what trees do as well.
But mushrooms are like, you know, playing chess, and trees are playing.
And that's what the Polish resistance did in World War II.
Okay.
They ate mushrooms and they cycled bikes against the Germans.
The amazing thing is,
by the way, if there are any Polish people here, that I'm not making fun of Polish people. My Hannah is Polish, and Hannah is the mother of my two sons, and so they're half Polish and half Irish. So
you're Irish.
I have a blood oath. With the Polish.
Oh, there's also a really interesting thing. Jack checked his
history,
his DNA.
Yeah, the MyHeritage kind of thing, where you see where your genetics are from.
Genetics
and your DNA.
From. So, what do you found out? Like 50% you were Irish, then
Irish, Eastern European, Baltic, Finnish, and Norwegian.
But like 1% Finnish.
Yeah, it was mainly Irish and Eastern European.
But it is extraordinary. I mean, look, it is funny. I know we've talked about this ad nauseum about the idea of, okay, who are your grandparents? Who are your grandparents' parents? Your great-grandparents? Your great-great-grandparents? And still we haven't even scratched the surface in terms of the amount of people that had to get together and have kids for us to exist. So we go back, let's say great, and they had to have existed, and because we wouldn't be here. Who were those people? Where did they live? How long did they live? How difficult was their life? You know, so there must be. Well, I don't know how exacting are those genetic results.
They're pretty on the dot. I think. I mean, I was DNA as a subject is really quite incredible because
it maps out, and you can see little.
Yeah. I mean, like. In the medical industry, in criminology, all these kind of things.
Oh yeah,
you can by taking DNA sample, you can find out if it's your son.
But I mean, they also identified as a specific genetics
markers,
genetic markers. That so, Babcha, Hannah's mother, she's Kashubian. So she's Kashubian.
What does Kashubian mean?
So that's a tribe of
ethnic
people, ethnic group who lives in Poland, which speaks German, but it's got its own language, which is very German-like, but it's not German. It's not Polish.
It's completely separate to German and Polish. It's like it's a separate language.
It's separate, but it's got sounds. It's got like a mixture.
But it didn't come from German or Polish. Like it came from different, you know. German and Polish.
What do they call those type? What do they call those type of languages? There's a title. You know the way there's ancient.
No, it's
subsections.
It's a language. It's a language that's being spoken. It's just not as popular, you know. And but it's a specific region in Pomerania, which is a specific region that goes.
What city is Pomerania near?
So Gdansk would be the main, and Hamburg, I think, would be the two main cities.
Is that why little dogs are called Pomeranians, because they were invented in Pomerania?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go on, Jack.
But that's the thing. The DNA identified that oh, my granny came from that specific area, so they could identify this is your genetics, and then you have possible relations based off of that.
And what? Okay.
Oh Jesus! I was just thinking I have to check my mom and dad before they depart.
What do you mean?
Before they depart, so we can build the family tree, you know, because on that my heritage, isn't it? It's different languages.
You remember that time when we were with your dad and he was talking to his mother, and I wanted to meet his mother, but she obviously
you wanted to record her. He didn't like that. Or it was uncomfortable because you were just walking around like this, sort of like had no sensitivity towards anyone. You were just like, oh, I'm gonna record, you know, like. And she was in a old people's home, and it was just so sad because the minute she gone there, she decided to die. And she was showing me the dress she wanted to die in, and because she was taken out of her place because she used to go to church to see this, that. And the minute she was outrooted, she just decided to die. And she died like a few months later.
And how come they put her in the home?
I don't know, because she was maybe difficult to live with, and
Jesus Christ.
I don't know, and they sold it to her.
I have to say though, I think that, you know, we speak of fear of death. I think every single person here, I think the thing that motivates people to create wealth and independence is, so you've got, I don't know, however long you know, or how incapacitated you may be when you get older, but that the fear of that pretty ignominious end to someone's life if you're in a but I know some of the homes are better than others, and actually, well, it depends. I mean, if you have, you know, really severe dementia, you can't be left on your own. No, she didn't.
No, and it's just because she was taken out of her home, and she did it voluntary, and but she was convinced that place is amazing beside the sea, is a resort, but maybe she didn't think that it's not gonna be a place for her. And also, like, we went there and there was a smell of pee everywhere. It was terrible.
But that's the people. Oh God, yeah. I mean, the people working there just are fed up and they don't want to do their job. And there could be some fucking psychopaths there. I mean, that's the other big worry. You know, that you're gonna have some horrible, you know, attendant just, you know, fucking, you know, torturing you or something.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, great.
Well, that's why it's so important to eat well, exercise.
Well, that's why family is so important.
It's important.
You have to be nice to Jack and support them when they're young, to make them feel guilty when they're older.
Maybe they're going to look after you when you're old. They're not going to put you in a shitty old folks' house.
Yeah, good one.
No, just put me in a shed at the back. I think granny flats are really nice things. Like stick the granny in a granny flat. That's lovely in the back garden, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, you know, to be.
And then the granny can be at the end of the garden, the little grandchildren. Jeez, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I've heard that there's a trend that young people. I thought it was like developing in Ireland. They come to live with older people, like students, for looking after older,
that's a nice idea.
Older people,
yeah.
you know.
But it would take a specific type of older person, a younger person. Some people are very naturally, like, you know, Debo, she's a caregiver. She's kind of a natural type of person who does that.
Yeah, but if you have a free gaff,
you that's the price you pay.
To cook, to clean, to do stuff, and obviously there has to be an agreement and maybe some control over this.
Yeah, it is a good thing. It's a good thing.
I think
that's actually.
good.
I think God, I mean, I'm so sort of removed and dislocated from all this, but certainly in Denmark, I mean, I think the measure, or if you want to, you know, the sign that country is really good and well run, is how they treat old people and how they treat sick people.
How they trick old people.
How they treat old people and how they treat sick people. And Denmark was the top of the list. That, in terms of the way I saw it. I mean, in fact, it seemed like a lot of people were in that area. What did they call themselves? There was some name they called themselves. That sort of was a general term to describe caring or caregiving. So anyway, like, it is a great place to be old, I would say. Well, it would be the best place, I think.
I think the best,
because the government
best,
really do look after you.
Listen, the best thing
'Cause
is
I
just
don't-
to look after yourself.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Be
saying
independent,
yes,
healthy.
Yeah, but if you can't, or if you're in a
you
situation,
can.
okay, but if okay,
I mean, you know, it's up to you. If you're fat or overweight, if you smoke, if you drink, if you
Yeah.
eat sugar, if
Yeah.
you know, obviously the quality of your life, it won't be good.
And that's the truth.
and when when we lived in Copenhagen, bicycle paths everywhere. Right? Everywhere. It wasn't just like in Dublin, they don't seem to get the hang of it. Like there's a couple of bicycle paths and then none. You know what I mean? That's you either have them or you fucking don't, Dublin. Anyway, I'm part of Dublin. What am I doing about it? Nothing. So I'm part of the fucking problem. Anyway, Copenhagen, bicycle paths everywhere. But obviously they pay much higher tax but all the tax seems to go back into the infrastructure.
But apparently
and
not.
Then,
Apparently
and then
they pay
wheelchair
as much.
access everywhere. Elevators everywhere. Sorry, Jack. What were we going to say?
I'd much prefer to cycle in Dublin because there's no rules. You know, it's much fun.
No, but
it's much better,
I
much
don't-
more efficient. you know?
I don't like those poles they put between bicycle paths.
No, they're
and,
so stupid.
and they're quite dangerous.
Because a
even.
car can quite easily just drive over that anyway. So
Yeah,
But
and
it-
bicycle can trip over. You
yeah.
can't overtake. I don't
But
know.
anyway, we lived in Denmark for 6 years when Dan.
And I did cycle with Daniel when he was really tiny
Yeah.
in front of my bike. Like he wasn't even a year,
Yeah.
and he was there.
And you'd be slumping over the bike and falling
Yeah.
asleep on your forearm. Oh,
yeah.
little
Yeah.
thing. Oh my goodness, we had such a good time.
Hmm.
Showered him with kisses, that little chubby cheeks. And
He
now they
wasn't
now
even
they grow.
skinny.
Now they grow old, Hannah. Where are our children?
There,
Our little babies.
sitting on the couch.
But yeah, like, but then it's funny though. I missed Ireland though as well. There's an energy here. Like if you fail here, you're allowed to fail. Whereas if you in Denmark, you know, it's not. I think it's good for people to feel failure, and it makes them more likely to work harder. And you know, because I think, well, certainly for some people, we need adversity to
learn.
slap us around and to wake us up. Okay, I'm at this lowest point, you know, and then you can access the section of your brain that thinks, okay, what moves do I need to make to get out of this situation and actually fucking earn a living and create wealth? And don't be looking to the fucking government for a handout. I mean, that's a very weak position to be in.
Listen, I read somewhere that failing, it's necessary to evolve and develop because
Although I think the weird thing about Denmark is, like, collectively there is something. It's a fairly special country. You know, they have this phrase called hyggelig, which is kind of, how would you describe hyggelig? Hyggelig.
Like nice and
Yeah, you know, they sort of strive for that. But I think it's just a very, well, when I was there, it felt, you know, parts of the country very safe, very well ordered, very well maintained, and very cozy. I think that's the word, cozy, hyggelig.
Yeah.
But again, you know, what?
Can I just say that?
But boring?
Because I don't know, but the thing is that you don't know exactly what was happening because
I
you
didn't
don't
speak Danish.
Danish.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to know the dynamics between people themselves.
Okay, that's true.
Although
that is true. I just say, okay, as a street performer, when I was playing on the streets of Copenhagen, you could say all kinds of mad shit to the Danish people, and they had that very rational kind of way of looking at life, whereby it was like,
Didn't you get your nose broken?
Yeah, but I mean, come on, I got into so many different fights all over the world, but that was the least of it. But you know, Copenhagen, you know, you could say mad shit to people and they kind of think, well, you know, I know who I am. I'm a good person. So whatever that person is saying to me, it's more his problem than mine or something. Whereas in Ireland, it's like, you know, we live in each other's heads, you know, yeah, you can't say that to me. Who are you? Well, no, you can't say, I can't say, you know. So it felt like a very, is the right word, evolved place. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
I've noticed because I met some Norwegians and they have a very self-assured presence about themselves. Like they're not insecure. They don't seem to be as insecure as other cultures or something, you know. You know.
But how many Norwegians have you met?
Yeah, that's the thing. So maybe not. But at the same time, you know, it's like people say, why don't we, you know, people often say, like, why don't we have the same systems and stuff as Scandinavia? Like, they say in all different countries, they always, like, look to them as, like, a kind of a beacon, you know. But at the same time, I think David is right. They are just quite responsible people.
Yes.
You know, they have a kind of, seem to have a bit of like a social, like there's probably more rules, you know. Might seem to, if you're Irish, you're a bit like, this is a bit uptight, you know.
Yeah.
But then, you know, they probably have them there for a reason.
So I felt almost like I want to live in a country where my bike will definitely be stolen, because the side effect, that's a side effect of the fact that there's energy and people are desperate and people. But I think if you have goodwill, if you have good intention and you're a decent person, I think Denmark, not so much Sweden. Sweden I found very, I mean, Jesus, Sweden. Well, although I haven't been to, but Sweden, it's like. But
you've been, you know, there's a countryside, but then it's Stockholm, which is big, and you know, there's a lot of Swedish. They were one of the first nation allowed a lot of foreigners to come in, refugees, and from Africa, and I don't know what kind of.
Yeah, I think, and also you have rose-tinted lenses when you're looking back in the past. You can't remember all this. There's lots of fucking, you know. But anyway, I just that was definitely one thing that struck me. What I wish that there was a word. There was a word they used.
Hygge.
You know, hygge. No, hygge. Yeah. No, there was a word also they used as a teacher. What's the word for teacher in Danish?
No, I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't remember.
But that did strike me that, you know. The government.
Lærer?
No, the pedagogue. Pedagogue.
Oh, but the pedagogue. It's like
what does pedagogue mean? Everybody seems to be a pedagogue.
It's someone who is not only a teacher but also knows the psychology behind.
Yeah,
that.
but everyone seemed to be sort of contributing to the well-being of the society. A lot of people seem to, and it's a very socialist, I would say, but in a positive way. But again. You know, I think for creativity, if that's what you're into, if that's your bag, maybe it's not the best, because creative people.
Well,
I mean, I'm saying that
Denmark is known for a designing.
Yes, well, that's you're dead right.
They design architecture.
Yeah.
They design those triangles. Those what's that building? Opera.
Well, I just think and then you have that great Lars von Trier's. You know what I mean? But you would think because they have so much that they would have much more creative people. But I think,
but you
honestly,
just don't know.
No, but I'm just saying, with creative people, we're naturally a bit fucking lazy. So if things are given to us, or if things are too easy, we don't try hard. We need to be slightly desperate to work really hard. But you're right.
You're thinking about artistic creativity.
Yeah,
but there's many different forms of creativity. I mean, Denmark and Sweden, Germany, they have a lot of like biotech companies and all that kind of stuff.
And Denmark has the most advanced, the one who produces Ozempic.
Noma, one of the best restaurants in the world.
You know that company which produces Ozempic, and it's got they have the income or turnover bigger than Danish GDP. You know, like Ozempic, what's it called? Novia something is the highest on the stock market.
Nvidia,
yeah.
Well, anyway, listen, it allowed me to sort of develop, and you know, so I do have a very strong connection to Denmark, and dare I say it, love. And it allowed me.
And also Copenhagen is a beautiful city.
Yes, it is. Yeah, no,
very quaint.
Very
with
quaint.
The longest pedestrianized street.
Yeah,
cafes everywhere.
I supported Daniel and Hannah worked in.
All kind of things. Just like stop it.
Okay, how long have we been broadcasting?
An hour.
Do we know anything about Nicolas Cage? Do we want to take him out of the cage?
Sorry, I haven't.
That's okay.
We haven't done that.
Did you watch Long Legs?
No, I haven't watched Long Legs. No.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jack. Thank you very much, Daniel. Thank you very much, Hannah. And it's great to be back. I love you all. I love Daniel, love Jack. And we need to talk about Amsterdam. Oh shit, we want to do that for the thing. Okay, see you next week. Thank you.
Bye-bye.